Hi, everybody. In this video, we're going to examine a notable example of executive privilege. After watching this video, you should be able to describe specifically how Richard Nixon tried to use executive privilege, but how that really didn't work for him. So what are notable uses of executive privilege? Well, there are several. George Washington wouldn't disclose information about the negotiations of an important treaty. After September 11th, when George W. Bush was president, Congress often wanted information about the country's national security. Invoking executive privilege, Bush refused to give the information, claiming that only the White House was competent enough to manage the country's security. Probably the best known case of executive privilege was when Richard Nixon tried to use executive privilege to make sure that incriminating information about himself and his administration was kept away from prosecutors and the public eye. The government, trying to find out what happened in the Watergate break-in, was not having it. They wanted the information that Nixon had. So Nixon actually claimed executive privilege to try to keep that information, incriminating himself, away from prosecutors all the way to the Supreme Court. But in 1974, the Supreme Court ruled in the United States versus Nixon that the president may indeed have a right to executive privilege, but the privilege does not exist to protect the president from his own criminal involvement. So Nixon was forced to disclose all the information that he had, and that was pretty much the end of his presidency. So now that you've watched this video, you should be able to explain how Richard Nixon tried to use executive privilege, but wasn't very successful in doing it. Here's a joke. Why did the credit card go to jail? It was guilty as charged. Nixon didn't go to jail. He was pardoned. More on that later. Thanks for watching.